Back in the depths of winter, I promised my wife that I never, ever would complain about the heat of summer again. And I will keep my word, but I made no such promises about high humidity, which was certainly on full display this past weekend. Now, you know that us meteorologists like to go to dew point as our measure of moisture content. It's measured in degrees. The higher the number, the more water vapor there is in the air. A dew point below 60 feels comfortable for most folks. The air starts to get uncomfortable around 65, while a dew point of 70 gives a tropical feel for just about everyone. Now, before we look at last weekend, a little context. Here's average dew points for the United States in July, which is the muggiest month in most places. I've shown the values corresponding to some of the colors. A few things to point out here. First, from the western high plains all the way to the Pacific Ocean, the greens, blues, and yellow indicate dew points of 55 or less, so humidity is really not an issue there, at least not from the climatological average standpoint. Farther east, parts of 9 coastal states, including all of Louisiana and Florida, average 71 or higher dew points, very tropical. Finally, look at the huge contrast from east to west across the central and southern plains. Take Kansas, for example. Southeastern part near 70, extreme western Kansas in the 50s. That's 2 totally different climates. Now, if we zoom closer to home, we can see that southeastern Pennsylvania averages dew points in the mid-60s, so right at the threshold of uncomfortable, while the Northwest and the Poconos average 55 to 59, which would be fairly tolerable for most folks. So here's the highest dew points measured last weekend across the state. All the major observing sites hit 70 or higher. Bradford was actually offline last weekend, but several nearby places in New York did get to 70. The highest official dew point I could find in the state was 77 at both York and the Chester County Airport in Coatesville. All of these numbers are 10 to 15 degrees above average. So how high can the dew point get here? Well, those records are hard to come by, but exactly 20 years ago this month, we went through a bout of humidity that has to be near the top of the list, certainly in recent decades. Here's the maximum dew point on July 14th and 15th, 1995. And for comparison, the number in parentheses is the maximum last weekend. Though the numbers are close in a few places, such as State College, I'm not sure that stifling, sultry, or oppressive do justice to a dew point of 80 or above, which occurred southeast of the mountains. Even the northern tier of the state saw dew points in the upper 70s in July of 1995. The most humid places in the world are in the Middle East, coastal areas of the Persian Gulf and Red Sea, water bodies that get so warm in summer that evaporation is set on high. Dew points in the low 90s have been measured there. Fred is back next with our extended range humidity forecast.